Let's get
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway.
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
They ain't ready. They ain't ready, Jim. They ain't ready. Here we go.
I'm gonna go Almond Rock here, guys.
What is it? You ain't Mexican. What is that?
I missed you a little bit, though, so I dig a little deep in there, right? But, yeah, he did that.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Frisco Report. We are talking Dallas Cowboys football. It is game time, just a few hours away. We're talking Thursday night football this week. Cowboys, big games coming up. Not just this one, but the rest of the schedule is a landmine of all sorts of challenges. So it's one game at a time, everybody. Mike, what's up, bro?
what's going on, you guys. First of all, we got Primetime Phil in the house. Big shout out to Primetime Phil. Him and Brian do a great job. Big fan of their show. They do awesome work over there. So shout out to Primetime Phil. Yes, sir, all day long. And obviously we got your boy Mike in the house and Devin. I mean, you guys, Brando, the best moderator in the game, all in soil. But, yeah, shout out to everybody, man. It's another episode of the episodes. What is it called? It's called the Frisco Report.
That's right, baby. That's right. We're in it. We're in it to win it, bro. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, bro. So, Mike, the question of the day of the show, and this is for everybody in the chat box watching live and around the world, the billions watching live and around the world. Mike, let me know, bro. Do you believe the Cowboys will make the playoffs? This is a yes or no question. There's no waffling, no teeter-tottering. This is a yes or no question for everybody. Mike, what say you, bro?
No.
The fuck, dude? Come on here, bro.
No.
Let's retry this. One sec. We're going to restart the intro. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Mike. Everybody in the chat box. Mike says no. The Cowboys are not going to make the playoffs, and I'll let him get to his answer here in a second. What do you guys say? We got a couple yes. Primetime
nope.
says nope.
Yes, we got yes here.
We got a yes here in the chat box. We got a yes. What else, everybody? Are the Cowboys going to make the playoffs? Danny's impressed with the Cowboys. Yep, not too bad. They're showing us a couple things here. Mike, so give me your reasoning right now as we sit here at 6-5-1.
Yeah, Joe, the math isn't there, right? In order to make the playoffs, the math has to math. And if you're looking at the wild card math and you look at what's ahead, even if we beat the Lions, you still got 49ers. You still got you got the 49ers at 9-4. You got the Packers at 8-3-1. You got the Seahawks at 9-3. So you already got Seahawks are 3 games ahead. Packers are 2 games ahead. And the 49ers are 3 games ahead. Okay, so you say, okay, now what's the chances of the Dallas Cowboys getting a wild card spot? The answer is 0. Okay, it's 0. The Cowboys cannot get a 5th, 6th, or 7th seed. No chance. Not a chance. As Vince McMahon would say, no chance in hell. Then you got to look at, okay, Cowboys Corner, Cowboys Blog. What's the road to the playoffs? The Eagles, they have to lose 2 games. They have to lose 2 games. Now, if you look at the Cowboys schedule, you got the Lions, you got the Chargers, Those are going to be the two most games. Those are going to be two hard games for the Cowboys. On top of is, will Giants play spoiler? Will Commanders play spoiler? Right? Justin Herbert, surgery on the hand. There's no guarantee that the Eagles are going to get those two losses. Right? Now, same thing. Giants and Commanders could play spoiler. They play the Commanders twice. The only way the Dallas Cowboys can get a playoff berth is at the 4th seed. That's it. The 4th seed. If they win the East, they'll be the 4th seed, and that's the only way the Dallas Cowboys can do it. The Dallas Cowboys can win out, and the Eagles can lose once, and you're not in. You're not in. If the Eagles lose 3 times, the Dallas Cowboys can only lose 1 game. If the Eagles only lose twice, the Dallas Cowboys have to win out, period. But if the Eagles only lose once between now and the end of the year, Cowboys are going in on the couch like potatoes and watch playoffs.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do this. I do believe that the Cowboys will make the playoffs, and I do believe that there's a situation, a path to get there through a wild card. These other teams, they should be able to knock each other out. We will get this head to head with the Lions, but that division is pretty stacked in itself. So it is an uphill battle getting in as a wild card, like Mike said. And we've been saying that from the beginning. We had to do at the very worst 6-1 after the bye. You know what I mean? And I think that still holds true. You know what I mean? You might be able to sneak one loss, but you probably have to run the table. And preferably, you could win the NFC East. So I'm going to say that the Cowboys, they will make the playoffs. Whichever configuration it's going to be. They're hot right now. All right, they are hot as hell. And me, Mike. I'm very hard on this team. It takes a lot for these guys to bring me back in, but I've seen some things here that give me hope. You know what I mean? But real hope, not this fake stuff. What I mean is, I think this team changed when they brought in Quinnen Williams into the locker room. I think he has really elevated the team on both sides of the ball. We've heard Dak talk about that, and Logan Wilson as well, and George Pickens, bro. This guy is just unstoppable right now. You know what I mean? Not to say that eventually he's going to get slowed down, and we need CeeDee Lamb to pick up where he left off last game, where he looked like his old self, Mike. So I do believe this team can do it based on the resurgence of the defense. We just needed them to improve just a little bit. We're not talking going from 30th or whatever the hell we were pre. If we could get into the 20th, I think that would be enough with the offense that we have, Mike.
Yeah, it's good. It's tough, man. And Joe, let me ask you this: how impressed are you with them winning the last 3 games? I mean, you're bought in, so you're pretty impressed. But break it down for me. Are you satisfied?
I am satisfied. Because. In our schedule release video, I was more on the pessimistic side. You were more on the optimistic side. And between my record and your record, looks like we're going to fall right there in the median between our two guesses, which is impressive. All right. There's no other group that has done what we've done. All right. We do. We have to acknowledge a little bit of that. I'm proud about that, bro. We put that work in. But anyway, dude, Yeah, man, I didn't think that they were going to win any more games after the bye. Even after the trades, I was like, nah, these trades aren't going to do anything, man. I don't believe these guys. It's all bull crap. But that being said, they have done completely opposite of what I thought they were going to do. And yeah, it was the Raiders, right? But the Raiders game, that would have been a trap game that this team would have stumbled and lost in the past, right? The Eagles game, in the Eagles game, I would have called that a 21-0 or whatever. You know what I mean? I think that would have been in the past. That would have been a too much of too many points to overcome. I would have been like, no, they lost this game, but they showed a lot of heart, man. And in the second half, they showed the heart of hearts. And I was like, that's what I want to see, man. That's what I've seen from some of these older teams. You know, I'm talking about like some of the 90s teams did this. You know, I mean, under Jimmy Johnson, we remember all the Super Bowls, but there were some close games. And there was games under Jimmy Johnson where we didn't wake up until the second half. Fans of my era, they may remember that, but that's what the man used to do. He was a halftime coach, bro. He could turn it on at the halftime, and we did a lot of that. And I saw some of that in these games here, where the second half, I don't know if it's the second half adjustments, but they have kept the foot to the pedal, bro. And that's why I feel good about it. I feel good about this Lions game. You know what I mean? I think they're going to want to do some revenge and get this win, bro.
Joe, you're going to hate me. And maybe some people in the comment section might feel the same way. But I'm going to be honest. Outside of the deficit of 21-0 in that Eagles game, I'm not impressed. And I'll tell you why. We played the Raiders, right? I get it. They could have been a trap game, but they beat a bad team. They didn't let a bad team beat them like how the Cardinals beat them, right? The Cardinals game is going to haunt us. The CeeDee Lamb's week 1 passes drops are gonna hurt us. The Chicago Bears game is gonna hurt us. There's a lot of games that's really gonna hurt the Dallas Cowboys going into a December to remember. But when you break it down, the Chiefs, dude, they're 0-5 in one possession games this year. Before this year, they were 12-0. 12-0 in one possession games. So it's not impressive that 5 other teams did it. Now, if they were 17-0 and the Cowboys closed that game out and done something good, then maybe I'm like, you know what, those 2 games are pretty impressive. But the Cowboys did what 5 other teams done. Close out the game. They're not the same Chiefs as they used to be. I want the Dallas Cowboys to go 3-0 again. If they can go 3-0 again, then I'll be like, you know what? Let me look at these playoff scenarios a little bit deeper. But right now we got 0 chance to make the playoffs unless the Eagles lose 2 games. But I'm really not impressed with beating the Raiders. I am impressed with coming back from 21-0. However, we have seen Dak Prescott do that, i.e. Atlanta 2020 when they were down 20-0. And then the Chiefs can score, but it's the Chiefs. They're not the same this year. Everybody's really beat the Chiefs. I think the Eagles even beat the Chiefs this year. So I don't know. I got to see more, Joe.
Well, who on the schedule would have impressed you? Because outside of the top seeded teams, we had Denver. They beat the crap out of us. They're a top seed, right? I mean, that would have been one. Well, what other win on this schedule? No, knowing what you know now, you know what I mean? Would that Bears game have been anything early in the year to you?
Yes, the Bears game would have been impressive for me. You look at the week 1 against the Eagles. We should have won that game. I was very optimistic going into week 1, trying to get that game won. The Panthers game. There's a lot of games that the Dallas Cowboys should have won, and when they were supposed to win it, they didn't. And when they go in there and try to be competitive, they got their butts whipped. And If they go 3-0 again, I'll be impressed.
But what about this, bro? All right, and I hate to bring this up, but there's a team in the division that did this shit twice and went to the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Giants, right? Wild cards snuck into the skin of their chinny chin chins and got to the Super Bowl. So why can't that be Dallas this year, bro?
Because the Giants won the NFC East that year.
No, they were wild cards.
Going into what, the 6th seed? They didn't have 7th seed then.
Yeah, no, they. I believe that this team is a team of destiny. I'm not bullshitting, bro. This team, I feel that if you go on a run here, wins are wins in this league. You know what I mean? Some of them are quality, some are not. You know what I mean? Of the teams that we lost to, the only ones that I really think are legit contenders are the Broncos, the Bears. I think they're full of shit. Panthers, they're a good team. You know what I mean? I think they're improving there.
But I don't think the Panthers will make the playoffs either, though.
They may not, but they're still a competitive team. You know, they're better than I thought they were going to be. Bryce Young has had some development there, so I see. The main difference is pre-bye week to the current after the bye week. This team is different to me. They're playing different football. You know what I mean? If we didn't make these trades for Quentin Williams, I could easily have seen us lose every single one of these games. But they have done something here to really turn it up and at least have the conversation. You know what I mean? We were 3-5 at one point, or
3-5-1.
5, and then here we are now. We're above 500. We have a chance here to beat another team here that's in contention, playoff contention. In the Lions, we can get some revenge on these guys. And then from there, you know, take it one game at a time, because you got the Vikings. You know, these guys, you never know. They can have a one amazing game with McCarthy or whoever the hell. Chargers and Harbaugh, I'll never bet against them. Harbaugh is a really good coach. He'll have those guys prepared.
We got to play them.
You gotta play them. You gotta beat them. You know what I mean? And we're at home. You know what I mean? I don't want this to be a game where, let's say we win these games and when we're up at the Chargers, you know, we have to stay focused, because they could easily come here and smack the crap out of us. And then to finish the season, I don't think those are guarantees either. You know what I mean? They're going to want to spoil at least the Redskins, but the Giants, I think there's no hope for those dudes. But the Redskins, I think they would love to play spoilers. So that one really scares me more than some of these other games that we have outside the Lions.
We got a super chat here, Joe. It says, yes, the only way we can make the playoffs is if we win out, win the NFC East. The Eagles have a collapse, but if we lose against the Lions, then I say no. Your boy Mike coming in clutch with the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Mike, and I agree.
Your boy Mike said it, bro.
Look what Primetime Phil said there, Joe.
I'm a fan of Diggs being back. So am I. I want all hands on deck. I know that he's had a up and down relationship here, but if the Joneses are saying that things are good and Diggs are saying good, I think they have rectified that relationship. I think that he will come in here. Maybe not this game. I don't know if he'll start. You know what I mean? But I think to have him at least for the end of the season, let him get his feet under him, I think it's good for the Cowboys.
I disagree with Primetime Phil and Cowboys blog. I think Trayvon Diggs is a cancer to the locker room. And I said that on the Frisco Report multiple times, including before the trade deadline. I wanted Trayvon Diggs traded, get him out of here, all right? And it all stems back of getting fined to the tune of $500,000, which I had Trayvon Diggs' back. I got a video up. I had his back. But then Micah Parsons gets traded. He acts like a little girl about it, Joe, in the chat. Then he gets a concussion at home. But in between that, his play, as CeeDee Lamb said, subpar. All right, his play was very subpar. And he gets an at-home concussion, and it's all been swept under the rug. And then reports come out from Clarence Hill, who's best friends with Trayvon Diggs. He might need surgery. So Trayvon Diggs quit on his team more than once this year. I do not trust Trayvon. I want him nowhere near our football team, Joe. I would rather have Deron Bland out there. Siobhan Rebel, 5 receptions, 61 yards allowed across 89 coverage snaps in his first 3 games. I see more promise in Siobhan Rebel as a rookie coming off IR in the last 3 games than I have any faith in Trayvon Diggs.
We shall see. We shall see. So, yeah, I want the veteran out there. I think he will do what needs to be done. You know what I mean? We don't know if we're going to get Amon-Ra. That's going to come up for somebody else going to have that duty here. The last games here that Diggs has played against the Lions, he hasn't had that assignment of covering Amon-Ra St. Brown, the receiver of receivers for the Lions. He may not play in this game. He's got an ankle injury, right? So that would leave you with the speedster Jameson Williams, the deep threat guy. So I'm crossing my fingers, crossing my toes, and everything in between that Amon-Ra doesn't play in this game, because if he plays in this game, it's a different. He's a difference maker, honestly. The guy can go and take it to the house in a slant. He can go deep. He can take a bubble screen to the house. The guy is amazing. All right, so I don't want him to play.
What about, Joe, the pressure up front, the 5-man front? You think even if St. Brown is out there, do you think the 5-man pressure front can get Jared Goff off his A game?
And that's what I do like. Jared Goff has typically been a quarterback that you can rattle, right? He's not like a Matthew Stafford, and then these they kind of traded teams, right? Matthew Stafford, really good player, man. You can't really rattle him, you know what I mean? Especially the older he's gotten. Goff, I feel like you can still rattle him, and so you bring that pressure. You have Quentin Williams in his face, fucking pancake his ass. He's gonna be looking on through his ear holes. You know what I mean? So I got to get that pressure, though. You know what I mean? And I think if you get it from the middle of this defense, the better. If you can get it from one of your edge rushers or some sort of exotic blitz package, maybe that works for you. But I feel good about it, man. The Cowboys and Lions typically have had good games going all the way back to the 90s, man. Some of them they took, some of us we took, and it's going to be one. I think this is going to be a classic Cowboys-Lions game. I think this is going to go down to the last minute of the game.
It all depends, Joe. We're going to get a true test against these Lions in the running game, all right? The Lions, they know how to run the football. They got Jamar Gibbs. They got a good backup running back behind them. They rank 9 out of 32 teams overall in the offense, so we're going to be facing a top 10 offense. They're ranked 2nd and 3rd respectively in the yards per ranking. They're 4th highest rushing yards per game in the NFL, averaging 139 yards a game. That's big time. We're going to see if Quentin Williams, we're going to see if Kenny Clark, we're going to see if Oso Odigizua, if that trio in that 5-man front is the real deal Holyfield, all right? Donovan Ezeraku, he's going to have to step his game up. With Clowney being out, Sam Williams, who has been playing okay. Now, I'm not going to give him his flowers yet. He's been playing okay. How does he help in this run game? But we need all hands on deck against this Lions running game. It's going to be the real deal Holyfield, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it definitely is going to be that, Mike. Let me ask you this, bro. So let's talk about the Cowboys defense here. Who in your mind has Clowney been rolled out yet? I haven't seen the latest update on the injury
He
report.
hasn't been ruled out, but he did not practice today, which is big. So if you don't practice, you don't play.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So not good that he didn't practice. He wasn't even under the limited designation. So that's not good there. He's been a good acquisition here. You know what I mean? I think that's looking like a good hit for us. You know what I mean? So kind of reminds me a little bit of when we had what was that edge rusher that we brought in here for a season or two? From he was with the Bears at one point. What was his name, dude?
Milton
No, who's the edge rusher? Gosh,
for the Bears. Oh, you talk about Robert Quinn. I met him.
Yeah, Robert Quinn. The Bears, I think Rams as well. Kind of reminds me of that. You know, you bring
We got him from the Dolphins.
You bring him on a short-term deal, and then let him go to work. And Clowney has done well, bro. We're gonna miss him if he doesn't play in this game.
Yes, 100%. We're gonna miss him. But dude, our run defense, if we're gonna be top tier, and even like let's say the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs. I doubt they will, but let's say hypothetically plug them into the playoffs. We're gonna look back at this Lion game, and we're gonna say, well, they didn't stop the Lions, who was fourth in rush yards at 138 yards a game. So we should have seen this coming. Or we're gonna say, dude, that true test against the Lions, they were able to stop us. Or we were able to stop them in the playoffs too. That's why we're winning games here in the playoffs, because we can stop the run. This Lions game is going to be the telltale of the future.
It's a great topic, Mike. Well, the Cowboys stopped Gibbs and Monty in the running game, Mike. Do you think that they're going to run all over us? Do you think we're going to be able to corral them? How are the Lions going to beat us? Is it through the running game? Is it what's your gut feeling if they do win this game?
My gut feeling is they're going to pound the rock. If their number one wide receiver's out, they still got good running backs. I don't think Dan Quinn's that ignorant to the game of football. When just what he's done with the Detroit program has turned it around tremendously. I feel like he knows what's up, and I think he's really going to test our run defense. All right, let's see if they really fixed it. Let's run at them, and whenever we get tired, we're going to run at them again. That is the Dan Quinn mentality, or excuse me, that is the Dan Campbell mentality, and I think that's what Campbell's going to do.
And when we have officially hit our low-key faded moment of the show, here we go.
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
It is, in fact, Dan Campbell. Mike, no, I understood what you were saying.
What did I say? What did I say?
You said Dan Quinn, the Quinn of Quins.
And then I changed it to Campbell. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
I'm low key faded, bro.
I love it, bro. No, but you're right, man. Dan Campbell brings in his physical team. Mike, are we physical? Are we a physical team now, or not?
We've showed it. We've showed some physicality, but this game right here is going to be the test of tests. If we go out there looking finesse like we did against the Cardinals, long day, Joe, long day. But if we can go out there like we did against the Eagles, put fists to chin, we're going to be okay.
Oh, God. It's Thursday night football. Primetime games. Those scare me too. So we got to win it. We really can't. We really can't lose any games. If we're going to be a championship team, you got to win your games and run the table. You know what I mean? And that's it. You know what I mean? If you have a hiccup here and there, you're just going to damage your draft status. You know what I mean? So if they get eliminated here, bro, it's Milton time at the end of the year. All right. So let's say, hypothetically, Mike, that the Cowboys lose this game. They beat the Vikings, but then they lose to the Chargers.
They're done.
It's officially done. And then do you want to take a look at the younger players at this point?
Absolutely. You got to know what you have in next year. And I think, be honest with you, I think that's what kind of helped Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson was you kind of viewed the Raiders game as a preseason game to get these guys' feet underneath them, run some plays, let them get used to terminology. I mean, they gave Logan Wilson the green dot against the Raiders, so they really treated it as a preseason game, and I think that launched them into the Eagles and the Chiefs game. So you have to be able to see what you got in the young guys. Give somebody that you wouldn't think would have a green dot on their helmet and let them see what they can do.
Yeah, bro. That's where I'm at. These next 3 weeks are huge, but you got to run the table. But if you lose Lions and Chargers, it's evaluation time those last 2 weeks. Look at Milton, get some confirmation. Like I said, I already know what I have in him, but let the front office get a closer look at him in the regular season on the road. All right, that would be a good look for him. Maybe you let Boy Blue on the field and let's see what this kid does. Does he do more fumbling and bumbling? Is he not studying the playbook? Is he not ready? I want to see that. If that gets exposed, well, then you know what you have in him for next season. He will be unreliable. You know what I mean? So that's one way to end the season. Just evaluate some of these guys that you still have a question mark on, Mike. So Blue, Milton, who else? Maybe Flanoy, get him some more snaps in there. Some of these other dudes, maybe
they signed that running back to the practice squad, so call his ass up and let him get some reps, see what we got in that kid. I know Savage was pretty pumped up about him. Israel something.
Israel Bebopaloopa or some shit like that. I don't know.
Nikanda.
That one. And so him or Blue, let's see what you got, man. So, but I do, man. If they can just get into the tournament, bro, I think they can make some noise, man. I really, really do. All right. Now,
oh man, that's a crazy last name. It's Ambanaga and Abanaconda.
Israel. I'll just call him Israel.
Yeah, we'll just call him IA.
Israel Abankananda. I don't know. Gerald Beasley. Camo Joe and Mike not losing in Detroit. All right. Good, bro. Good. Izzy. All right. Yeah, that's a good one there. Just call him Izzy. I like this comment here. 405 DCFL says we're a better team than the Lions. What do you think, Mike? Are we a better team than the Lions?
We'll find out Thursday.
I think we are. I think we're a better team than the Lions. I think that this is funny right here, dude. Butcher something.
Hey, I was the only one to get Noah Ibignogany's name right. First of all, thank you very much.
That was funny, man. I don't know why. That was a good one. Brand new, the gaming championship. Lions suck at going on fourth down. That's what I like about Dan Campbell. Let me take these out. What the hell am I doing? Dan Campbell, right?
What did you have on your face?
Yeah, Dan Campbell does a lot of this. He's been scrutinized a lot there in Detroit for his, I guess going for it in the wrong moments of the game, right? and swinging it the other way to the other team. So maybe we'll get some of that from him, clock management and stuff like that, right? So yeah, broke clock syndrome. Yeah. Let's see what we got right here, bro. You know what else? Here we go. Danny Savage. He's got some draft info here. Killed Jets and was buried on the Jets. He was round 3, 4th originally. Then Jets drafted at round 2 back in 2024.
You talking about that running back,
Braylon Allen, right? Remember that big ass dude?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. What a game, dude! This game is going to be something special. Now, if they come out here and just get totally blown out of the water, then I don't think they have a chance of making anything. Because to me, that would be just like, hey, these guys got full of themselves. I think that's the biggest challenge Schottenheimer has going the rest of the way, handling success. You know what I mean? Garrett used to talk about this. How do you handle success, right? And just looking at our team, you know, is Schottenheimer going to be able to do that? Is he going to be able to have these guys focused, handling this 3-win streak without getting full of themselves and ahead of themselves? Or is he going to keep them locked in one game, one snap at a time, Mike? What do you think?
I would like to say it's up to Schottenheimer and it's up to the players. Quentin Williams coming in from the Jets. If you watch that Chiefs post-game interview, he's smiling ear to ear, and he said, "This is the first time in my NFL career I've won 3 games in a row."
Sure.
And Quentin Williams is already dubbed himself, made himself the leader of the defense. All right. So this guy is already getting a little taste of success. I think the defense runs through Quentin Williams. And on the offense side of the ball, I think the offense runs through Dak Prescott. If I'm going to name players leaders, and I've said Dak isn't a leader, but just the way that he's been going about it this year, I think players are gaining more respect. I mean, you just seen Osa Odigizua stick up for him on the club Shay Shay with Ocho Cinco and them. That what's their podcast, late night podcast or something. But you seen Osa stick up for his quarterback right away. All right. That's big time. How many players for the Eagles have stuck up for Jalen Hurts in their downfall? 0. So in order for Osa to have Dak's back instantly tells me that Dak really might just be a leader in that locker room. So the defense runs through Quentin Williams. The offense runs through Dak. The team runs through Brian Schottenheimer. Those 3 guys have to be connected and on the same page for the rest of the year.
I'm with you, bro. Well said indeed, man. They have to be, bro. They have to be, because if not, it's all fake. You know what I mean? So I think that they actually have something good. However, the way this season ends, I think there's a lot of promise for next season. You know what I mean? If they can just add some key pieces on defense, you know what I mean, and then add you another weapon on offense, whether that's a tackle or somebody like that. You know what I mean? So it's been a crazy season, and we knew it would be, Mike. You know, we knew that this would be the roller coaster ride of roller coasters without a seatbelt. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at. You know what I mean? Some fans have flown off the roller coaster. They're dead on the ground. Some are still holding on, and we're about to get to the apex of this roller coaster. You know, we're up here, and well, you know, when it goes down there and you get that weird feeling in your stomach, that's where it's at, man. Each
stomach drops.
Each game is going to be that feeling, dude. So I would love just to crush these guys, man, and make a statement. You know what I mean? Like come out here, score on your first drive, make them go 3 and out on their first drive, make them punt. Have something crazy happen on special teams, maybe a block punt, block field goal. Maybe Gavon Turpentine actually does something and returns it, or something like this. You know what I mean?
You want to see consistency across the board, special teams, defense, offense. You know, we can't if you're an inconsistent football team, you're not going to win a lot of football games. Hence why we're 6-5-1. We've really been inconsistent. But if they can find that stride, they can be dangerous. It's just the only team that can really stop the Cowboys is the Cowboys. And we've seen Jason Garrett flop. We've seen a Mike McCarthy flop. Schottenheimer, how do you handle it? How is Schottenheimer going to handle something different? I mean, his dad didn't even handle playoff success. So how is Brian Schottenheimer, talking about Marty, how does Brian Schottenheimer handle winning success when his dad, I mean, his dad did it, but it was the same old Cowboys stuff with Marty in the playoffs.
The shit here about Dak sweating, it's hilarious. Is that a thing? I guess I've never noticed that.
Yeah, Uncensored pointed it out a couple of weeks ago. Wide-eyed, sweaty Dak. All right, because Dak's I'm a heavy sweater, so I totally get the sweat part of it. But when Dak's wide-eyed and you add the sweat onto it, you're not scoring points.
Interesting. No, I've noticed the deer in the headlights look, the 1,000-yard stare look, but I hadn't noticed the sweat issue. So I'm going to take a look at that. If it comes up, we will discuss it, because that could be a precursor to bad things to come. See what else we got here. Danny Savage, draft guru of draft gurus. Make sure you're following Danny Savage on YouTube. He's breaking down a lot of these guys that the other fake content creators will talk about later when Danny has already been on top of it. You know what I mean? So great channel there, giving you the latest on the guys to watch on the draft. Primetime Phil in the house. What's up, bro? Brian does have the Super Bowl as a coordinator, so he has seen how it is done. Seeing and doing are two different things, but there is history. Very nice. I do like to hear that. And I mean, even his dad, right? Like he was a hell of a coach, bro. Like he didn't really win the big ones, but he always had like his teams in contention, and they were tough teams, dude. I remember the Browns back in the day, bro. We're talking about Elway and the Drive and Schottenheimer coaching the Browns. They went back and forth, bro. It was like whoever won that game was probably going to the Super Bowl. That's how good Schottenheimer was with the Browns. Chiefs, pretty good there as well. You know what I mean? And then obviously with the Chargers, right?
So Brian Schottenheimer, primetime Phil, not arguing with it, just making sure we're on track. Brian Schottenheimer has 0 Super Bowl rings in his coaching career. He did not win one as an offensive coordinator.
Thank you. Danny Savage, draft guru. His dad was a legit coach. Oh, I thought he got one with Seattle.
No, he wasn't he wasn't a coach in Seattle when they won that ring.
But you know who was? Dan Quinn, and now he's choking it the hell up. I love seeing this guy choke. 23-0. Eat it. I can't. Friggin' Dan Quinn, you weirdo. I can't stand that dude, bro. He torpedoed that damn game plan, dude. I'm sold on that, and I will never forgive him for that crap, dude. There's no way you come out with a game plan like that, dude. Dan Quinn can't eat it.
Yeah.
Guys, hell of a show. It was fun. Lots of great moments tonight. Talked about, the Cowboys. Will they make the playoffs? Yes or no? If you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comments, man. Pound that like button. If you're a lurker, subscribe to the channel, Cowboys blog and Cowboys Corner, to get the very latest from the Frisco Report. You know what I mean? We come on live 8:30 evenings. And you can catch us on all sorts of other shows around the YouTube universe. So, guys, shout out to you guys. We can't do this without you. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already.
Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube, _ Cowboys Corner on Twitter. Dude, I got at it with some DFW residencies, all right? Clarence or somebody put it's cold and miserable because the Cowboys are playing out in 38-degree weather, 34-degree wind chill. And I simply put that is neither that's not cold nor miserable. And a lot of DFW residents got on my case. We got a bunch of snowflakes for fan bases in the DFW. They don't understand the term football weather, all right? My last high school football game, Joe, it was 19 degrees. The only thing I had on was my standard pads. And because I wanted to look cool, I wore a long sleeve and a short sleeve, all right? And I played the whole game like that with no jacket, no warmers, no nothing. It's time to man up or shut up. 38 degrees is not cold.
Yeah, just to let you know, Mike is from Kansas.
I'm not from Kansas. I live in Kansas.
He lives in Kansas, so his view on cold is a little bit skewed. I think.
But I lived in Texas. I just told you I played in a 19-degree football game in the playoffs in high school. I played the whole game with no jacket, no warmers.
Hey, dude,
38 degrees is a walk in the park.
And what did the snowflakes tell you in the comments, dude? Like, what were they saying?
Oh, one of them said I was an Arab that had a VPN in India. Yeah. Let's see.
They called you an Arab.
This guy here said, "Bro, I'm from Texas. That's cold as hell." And then this guy said, "Dog, let's not act like it isn't cold for Dallas, and especially for players that are used to practicing inside and play inside." All right. There's just so many snowflakes. Let's see. He goes, "You're probably 400 pounds." You're probably 400 pounds if that isn't cold for you. And someone called me a keyboard warrior because I said it's neither cold nor miserable.
Jeez,
and then this guy said, "Okay, Hardo, we get it. You're built different. Tough guy over here."
Man, you really ruffled some feathers over there, bro.
Yeah, and then this guy said, "We got a big boy over here."
Damn, dude.
And then he said, that's t-shirt and short weather, huh, big guy? And then he goes, "You're fat as fuck if 34 degrees isn't cold in Texas." And that guy got 7 likes on that one. So, yeah. Little snowflakes over there. That's football weather, baby. That stuff makes you tough. You think the Bills care about 38 degrees? Look at that. Look at that. You think the Bills care about 38 degrees? You think the Jets care about 38 degrees? You think the Packers care about 38 degrees? Man, it's time to put up or shut up, all right? Be a man. Play football in football weather. 38 degrees is not cold. Period. Point blank. End of discussion.
Very, very, very interesting commentary in there. Ruffling of the feathers, as I said. I love it, bro. I love it. I love when that happens, bro, because some people, they just can't handle it, bro. Some people can't handle getting the feathers ruffled. But guys, hell of a show, man. Thank you to everybody in the chat box. What a hell of a show, man. Had a lot of great conversation here with you guys. And yeah, man, catch us on our post game shows on Thursday night. I'll have one. Mike, we'll see if Mike does one there. But I'll be up Friday night Q&A, guys. I don't know what time it'll be. Last time it was like 2 a.m. or some crazy shit like that.
Dude.
But,
So I watched your show on the way home with Fifth Quarter Cowboys show. Now I watched yours the night before. I apologize. and I'm looking. It said 10 hours ago. I'm like, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. This guy was up like 4 in the morning. This is crazy as hell.
That was, dude. So you guys never know, but it will be Friday night. You know, I'm gonna try to keep that going. Friday night Q&A. But that's all we have tonight, guys. Pound that like button if you don't mind. Helps out our channels and the algorithm. Thank you, guys.